wasting time, we want to open the program with a prayer. We request our elder, Barrister Chinedu, to open us the program with a prayer. Sir.
Thank you, Lord, because you are great and worthy. You are very possible for us to come from our various destinations to this program. Lord, we adore you because it is the Lord's doing, and it is not us in our eyes that you have made today to be a reality. That most of us have the message through text messages. And today we are here to the glory, Father, Lord, and Son, coming to Chinedu, Ulocha, and all the resource persons we commit into thy hand, that every deliberation in this seminar will be a success, so as to edify us both financially in our business, in all we find ourselves, Lord, we commit everything to thy hand. May thy Father, their faith, conscientize our minds to assimilate all that we have deliberated to our root. Have your way, we are praying in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Welcome each and every one of us for this August program. Actually, like the barrister rightly said, some people got the information through the text message. Like him, I didn't call him for anything regarding to this meeting. But many people got the information through text. But thank God, we have all arrived to this great investment program. Hello? Without wasting time, the people who gathered all of us here are Life Microfinance Cooperative. Precisely, the business have existed over 20 years before now. This is our 20th year of existence. Before we go a little bit public, to make sure that we give chance for investors to come in, to bring their idea, bring their fund, so that we can empower people. Precisely, this time Nigeria is passing great economic recession. That is why this program is very necessary. Personally, I took time to study the existence of microfinance right from Bangladesh in 1973. A man that is called Mohammed Yunus just have this idea. He gathered people like we have gathered. They put their resources together. They started empowering and helping people, and as well start making profit for themselves. That is what shareholders called dividend at the end of their destiny. By God's grace today, we are going to hear from different resource speakers as regards to this program. We are going to have time for question and answer. We are going to have time for business brainstorming, and at long run, we will give chance for prospective investors to invest both their idea, their money for the future. Hello? Hi. Hello? Hi. Without wasting time, I want to announce to you, we have an aim of gathering each and every one of us here today. One of our aim is that we have discovered that some businessmen in our bank have suffered so much in getting credit to empower their business. Some have run account to the bank at long run. The account officer will use them to make their cabal to be packed, but yet they will not give them financial assistance. Some have labored so much to an extent they have never gotten any facility. That is why our own system, we want to have a synergy. Having known our customer, known their business capacity, having sensitized them through different seminars in how to manage their business and their capacity of their business and what they need. That is why we are creating a forum so that we invite our friends, our colleagues, business partners, so that we can pull our phone together and empower each and every one of us that are sincere in their business, and as well make profit in the name of dividend to an investor. Hello? Without wasting time, before we move into the lecture proper, I want to announce to you, we have an aim through you and through each and every one of us to raise 100 million units of share at 1 naira per unit. 100 million units. Somebody will again say how realistic it is. I want to announce to you, we have done the statistics, we have projected it, we have seen it that is going to work. Precisely, I have been into business of finance for over 20 years with a wide level of experience, being a business consultant, handling financial seminars to different people, consulting in different angles. I have discovered that if we can wisely articulate it fine, it's not only going to empower the life of people to change their life, it's going to bring strong dividend to an investor. Hello? Now, in our own calculation, we have projected if we realize this money, which by God's grace, even this money, many investors have started investing. By God's grace, before the end of this program, we are going to issue certificate to already people who have invested in this microfinance. And it's going to be a challenge to you to see it as a better grant why you should invest. Why? Because we have discovered that the only way we can empower each other and as well overcome the challenge of seeking for financial funds to empower our business is through this umbrella. And we have seen, based on our calculation, if we raise this 100 million units of share, which is equivalent with 100 million naira, at the end of the financial year, we are expecting nothing less than 50 million naira as a gross profit. Somebody asked me, how will the magic happen? Now, the way the magic is saying is, for example, if we give out a facility regarding to each of our customers, a different facility, precisely a 5% interest rate flat, in that 100 million unit of share, which is equivalent to 100 million naira, we are projecting the profit of 5 million naira per month. Hello? I don't know whether I'm standing too big or something like that. Hello? Hi. Because only now you bring it back, because the reason why we are here is to understand, so that you ask questions, so that we don't blow big grammar. At the end of the thing, you say it's moving. Why? You didn't understand anything. Therefore, I'm ready to come to the lower level so that we can carry you along. That is why we are going to have time for question and answer. Remember what I said in the beginning. One of our primary aims is that we have discovered that to access funds precisely in our bank is very difficult. A get how difficult it is only you have a need. When you have a financial need, therefore training you will go get you go get you want to run it yesterday. I would have helped you. You discover that you will die, yet you have a vision, you have a business proposal. You get with a profit. Many times when you approach the bank will speak various grammar. You are going to run account for 3 months. After 3 months, you are going to run another 3 months. We are going to assess your account profile. We are going to do plus and minus. At long run, we are going to divide to see whether you are qualified for a loan. At long run, they will end it all with grammar. They will not empower you. The account officer will end up to tell you, I'm sorry, we got a memo from the head office. This loan cannot be approved. After you have suffered, toiled, they have collected COT, they have collected account maintenance charge, they have collected everything. That is the end. That is why they can't report even anything from you. And you know, you can't even access any form from the bank unless you have a current account. Is it not true? Why must they tell you to open a current account? So that they can get their commission for turnover. So that they can get other charges. There are even a hidden charges you don't know. If you manage to run over above the limit, my brother, that day you discover that the bank know how to chop money. Hello? Therefore, because of these challenges, in India, precisely in 1970-something, some group of women came together to help themselves by pulling their resources together so that people who have need can be assisted from the resources of others. That is how the word microfinance came into existence. Remember, it is full of funds from ordinary people. Now, you that brought the fund at the end of the year, a check and profit from that fund, a dividend as a mark of compensating you and encouraging your investment. That is one of the information necessary. Now, to us, we have calculated it. I answer, if we realize these are expected target, somebody ask me, how realistic? In this economic reception, let me announce to you, the best time to invest, the best time to cast your net is in the economic meltdown. Hello? Hello? The Indian people in that period I quoted to you, we are passing serious problems. That is why recently in the economy of Nigeria, they say India have once passed recession, even depression, economic depression. Yet they overcame it. That is why if Nigeria can sit back, plan well, they can overcome these challenges. Hello? And by God's grace, through you and I, when we plan well, we can overcome it. Hello? Now, let me say one or two things before the guest speaker take over. One of the information I want to throw to you is one, if we realize this 100 million naira we are targeting, if we realize it, how are we going to make profit for investors? One, in each person, in a facility, we expect to make not less than 5% profit from it. That means in that 100 million naira, we are not giving it to one person. We are not even giving it to two people. It's nearly going to be over thousands of 1,000 people that are going to share it. Therefore, the risk is minimal. The default rate is minimal. And however, we projected that at least in each each month we have projected gross profit of 5 million naira. When you multiply it by 10, it is 50 million naira. Already a good investor now who here as a better grant. Somebody may ask, what about the risk factor? One, before a facility is given to you, we should have known your capacity. Your business capacity. That is why the microfinancing is different from commercial financing. In microfinancing, I must know who you are. I must know the level of your business. I must know the capacity which you can handle. Let me announce to you, if you collect money above your capacity, you don't need a prophet to prophesy to you that that business will turn bad. Hello? Yes, because you cannot control what you cannot manage. And that is why in our own system, we have time to sensitize our customers. The danger in loan delinquency, the danger in defaulting, and how their business can be progressive. Therefore, in one of the ways an investor is likely going to make a profit is through this means I call dividend. Therefore, anybody who invested before now that we invest today is capable to enjoy the weight of our struggle through the dividend at the end of the financial year. Hello? Again, we have another means our investors are likely going to enjoy. Another means is what we call share bonus. How are we going to get share bonus? Recently, we are working with Central Bank, and by God's grace, among our shareholders, some are going to be in different departments. We have already stipulated people that are working with Central Bank. They have promised us, if we will give them a financial report, which we are working hard now, that they are going to give us facility at the rate of 3% per annum. We have been in Omaya at Central Bank, we have discussed with them. The reason why we are still holding on because they need more profile of some of our shareholders and information about them. They promise that they are going to give us facility at the rate of 3% per annum. But there is a clause there. They say that 3% we will not give it out more than 9% per annum. Rather than more than 9%, we should come down. Therefore, in estimation, we projected that if we buy from Central Bank at the rate of 3%, we are going to sell to us or some of our customers at 9% per annum, not even up to 1%. Now, the difference between 9 and 3 is 6%. That 6% is not shareholders' fund. Hello? Hello? It's not shareholders' fund. Even you as a shareholder may not know that there is such a money that just came in. That 6% at the end of the financial year, it will turn to be a shareholder bonus dividend. That is additional fund for our shareholder. Hello? Now, thirdly, how our shareholders are going to make additional income is through other investment like fixed deposit. Fixed deposit. Even as an investor, you may have a spare money and decide to release it as a fixed deposit depending on the interest. The shareholder finance department will stipulate interest. That interest will pay you. We will make more than that interest, even more than twice of what we are paying you. Actually, you invested 5 million naira, maybe within 6 months, as a fixed deposit. At the end of that interval of time, we would have traded with that money and make additional profit. We pay you your principal, we pay you your interest. That difference is an income to our microfinance. And remember that income is not from shareholders' deposit fund. It's from investors in time of peace deposit. That profit, the shareholders are going to benefit it as a bonus dividend. Hello? Lastly, we are working in partnership with some government agency and NGO. Like last Wednesday precisely, I was in Umuahia and Lolo was there too. Madam, you were there, but you left before I arrived. Okay. Now, in that meeting, no Umuahia, we were working hard because if you are very sensitive enough, you may have heard about agriculture green development program. Now, one of the agriculture programs we have with them. For example, Abia State, up to 3 areas, they are going to empower people in agriculture. One of it is rice. Some of us are in Abia State in agriculture rice. One of it is palm oil. Ngozo, cassava, and so on and so forth. By God's grace, last Wednesday, no Maya, we were at the meeting with the whole Rice Association of Abia State. In that meeting, after that meeting on Wednesday, we encouraged them to empower many people. On Thursday, they visited our office here. In conclusion of that meeting, because of the way we presented our point logically enough to them, they want to work with us, to use us as anchor program in empowering that agricultural product. If we succeed in pushing that project, it's going to be a lot of income to this microfinance venture. Because one, what it means that those money they are going to dispose, they will dispose it through us. In disposing it, we are not the owner of the money. It's not shareholders' money. But since we are disposing the money, I get some levies, now some charges. Hello? Now listen to me. Not only that, we are pushing on into different NGOs, partnering with them. If it work out, those profits are going to generate from there. Remember, it's not shareholders' fund. But see, shareholders are the owner of the company. There is no way you will separate them from their company. Invariably, every income that flows, they are part to it. Hello? Therefore, in conclusion on it, I want to encourage you as we move on to give chance for a guest speaker to handle in different areas. I want to introduce you a microfinance venture that has vision, that has direction, that has the ability to increase wealth from into your purse. Therefore, if you are here today, you have not invested, or you are confused in where to invest, or because of the economic meltdown, you are thinking what to do or what not to do, I want to announce to you, this is the right time for you to invest. Hello? Therefore, they may have given you our booklets, you will read it, ask questions where necessary. When I come back, I will entertain certain questions and strengthen certain points. Because of time, people, especially people that came all the way outside their state, I want to use this opportunity to invite one of our resource speakers that came all the way from Ulocha. By God's grace, he's the president of Resource Follow International, that is the director, Peace Media, and a lot of things. When he came on board, he will talk more about himself. He's no other person than Emmanuel Onyenuforo. Can we welcome him to the podium?
wise on stage, you know. You are welcome. Well, I have sat down here and I've listened to the director dishing out what he has for us and why he has brought us here. Please forgive me, I've not been used to speaking, without the microphone.
You're welcome.
So I don't know how to shout, but I will try as much as I can because of the noise coming from the back. I will try as much as I can to raise my voice, but I hope everybody can hear me very well. If anybody cannot hear me, those at the back, can you hear me very well? Can you hear me? Thank you very much. So, briefly, Resource Fellows is a group of people. What we do is basically to raise human resources, to build human resources, to be able to manage effectively the natural resources that God has given to us for the productivity of mankind and to make our world better. So we engage in various kinds of activities, but our core area is education. We also handle public contract and other things. So anytime you have any program, maybe by the time we finish, you can collect my number, you call us, you can come and do justice to your program. That is for resource. And the reason why we are here, I listened to the director speak, and I could pick one point, what the director said. He said that the period of economic recession or the period of economic depression is the best time and is the wisest time
Invest.
to make investment. Did you hear that? Yes. Did you hear me?
Yes.
There is something that I've lived in the north, I've lived in the south, I've lived in the south, I've lived in various states. That is one of the things that people respect Igbo man. You see, in your house, you have something that you don't call it anything. When the children come, they will just pick it, they will just throw it by the side. Nobody calls it anything more. They will treat that thing as if it doesn't matter. One Igbo man will just come one day and say, "Oga, this thing where dey your house, this, how e be? Give me now." The man will say, "I bring 1 naira, so it will not look as if I dash you." He say, "Ah, 1 naira, give me." The man will carry this thing, and give me somewhere very, very well in his house and give me. Brothers and sisters, one day will come. Somebody will look for that thing and will be ready to pay millions for that thing. And there will nobody everywhere. And they will ask, nobody will have it. And then one day the person will hear, maybe from the person that threw it away from his house, and say, "Go and give this person, he has something like that." And when you come, you see this thing that he bought 1 naira, we tell you to bring 10,000 naira. And because you need it seriously, you will pay. Have you ever been in the examination hall where if somebody tell you to pay 1,000 naira for pencil, you will pay? You have to pay. Have you not seen such a situation? Yeah. When you are in the hall, the examination hall, somebody, you need pencil or eraser, or somebody said bring 1,000 and you are glad you want to pay. Have you ever been in such situation? Yes. Everything in life goes with time and season. When the time for anything comes, that is going to be flying. But when it is not the time, it will look as if it's not important. That is not why I'm here. I am here to handle a topic that was graciously given to me to talk to our resourceful shareholders. I am here to perform dual responsibility. I am to handle you. The first one is on the topic, the law of 6 capital. I hope everybody has this material with you. Everybody has it, right? And if you don't have it, please can we see your hand? Okay, I believe everybody has it. We deliberately handed it over to you before the starting of the program. The reason reason is so that you can go through, because I might not, be reading them word to word as I speak. And I hope that because you have a background idea of it, you'll be able to flow along with me. And then the second task is to introduce you. The chairman has started, that angle, to introduce you to the opportunities we are here, why we are here, and to teach you how you can use the first lesson, which is the seed capital, to be able to take advantage of the opportunity why we brought you there. We have not brought you here for nothing. So I want to promise all of you that you are going to enjoy your stay here. You are welcome. Now, that matter. How many of you here have ever seen anything called seed in their life? Please, can you raise up your hand? You have seen seed in their life. Can you raise up your hand? You have seen a seed in your life. Raise up your hand. Please, please, let somebody help me with that. Thank you very much. If you have ever seen a seed in your life, either while you are growing up, as you were helping your parents in the farm, or maybe in the market, you saw people buying something that they want to go and see. If you have ever seen it before, let me see. It's like, I'm here with Americanas. Thank you very much. God bless you. Now, where is it? I need the marker.
You are getting it.
If you have seen a seed, there is one thing that is characteristic of every seed. Every seed contains an embryo. What did I say?
Every seed contains an embryo.
And that embryo is the life of that seed. That embryo is what? The life of that seed. For instance, let us say we have a vase here. I hope everybody sees. We have, let's say, beans here. If you break these beans now, bisect it into two parts, you will see something here. Am I right? Am I right? If it's a maize, something like this, if you dissect it, you will see something here. That thing you see there is embryo. Every seed contains it. Before anything can be called a seed, it must contain that. And that embryo is life. So every seed must contain life. Then another law of seed is that every seed that contains life, or every seed can be sown. Are you following me? Every seed can be sown, but only the seed that contains life will do what? Grow. So it's not every seed you put in the ground that will do what? Grow. Another law of seed is that when you sow a seed, there has to be a relationship between the seed and the ground where you sow that seed. If the ground is fertile enough, that seed will grow, flourish, and look very, very appetizing. And when it produces much fruit. But if the ground is not fertile, the seed may try to grow, but sometime along the line it will die. Remember in the Bible, Jesus gave a parable of sower. Thank you. And then you also discover that seed has different environments, or let's say climatic factors that will be present in a particular environment for that seed to do well. For instance, now there are some places you cannot plant rice. Am I right? If you plant rice there, it will not do well. And there are places if you plant rice, it will do very, very well. So we can say that seed is also segregatory. But what is seed itself? Now, if you look at your material there, a seed is an embryonic plant enclosed in a protective outer covering. I'm trying to define a seed which everybody knows. I don't need to explain that. Every seed is always closed in a protective what? Covering. Now, the formation of the seed is part of the process of reproduction in seed plant. Now, seed plant, we have two different seed plants. We have the one we call the spermatophytes. Those are the seeds that produces that has a cover with fruit. For instance, orange. The seed of orange is covered with fruit. There you can peel it and you can lick the orange and you can sow the seed. Your mango, you can lick the seed, and so on and so forth. Are you following me now? And then we have the angiosperm. Those ones are the ones that they come like before they produce flowers first. Okay? Or sometimes they are covered with hard, surface, and that hard surface is not eatable. Okay? You can eat other things from this, but you cannot eat the hard surface. Are you following me now? So, like your coconut. Okay? Can you eat the coconut? Can you eat the back of coconut, the hard side? Can you eat it?
No.
What about palm nut? So, different seeds. I'm trying to explain to you certain characteristics of seed. Now, the term seed also has a general meaning. Okay, what I gave you is the biological meaning of seed, but it has lessons that we can draw as investors. Now, seed also has a general meaning, and it means anything that can be sown. If I have this to sow, and it doesn't contain an embryo, can we, in actual sense, call it a seed?
No.
We can't call it a seed because it doesn't contain life. So a seed must contain life, because the life is actually what is the seed itself. The other one is just nourishment for the life inside the seed to just feed on until it is strong enough to begin to feed from the external environment. Example, your potatoes, even a man's seed. You know, a man is a seed too. Man has seed. Does man have seed? Yes. Money. Is money a seed too? Yes. Is money a seed? Because you can sow money. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
So every seed has its own kind of soil where you can sow, depending on how fertile the soil is. The seed can die, can grow, can return, it can prosper, depending on the soil that you have. Okay. Now, in terms of production, seeds are produced in a variety of ways. Some are produced as an enclosed seed, that is the gymnosperm that I told you, and the angiosperm, the one that are produced in a hard and fleshy structure called a fruit that encloses the seed. Now, the process of seed development varies from year to year or month to month in response to wealth variation. For instance, the temperature, the fertility of the soil, and so on and so forth. Even the sunlight, rainfall, the climatic factor of the area all affect how long that the seed can stay. Then things like insects, things like diseases, and even internal cycle within the plant itself. Like there are some seeds that are meant to last for only 3 months. Some are meant to last for only 6 months. Some are meant to last for 1 year. Some are 2 years. Some are 7 years, and so on and so forth. So over a 20-year period, for example, a tree of mango seeds can produce several millions of fruits, including seeds that can also be sown and eaten. That means that every seed has in itself multiplier effects. One man of God was preaching in a church. He said that the day Adam was created, all of us was inside Adam. What happened is that we started manifesting one after the other. So that's the same thing. If you have one seed of mango today, you sow it. In the next 20 years, be sure that you must have harvested millions of seed from that. So that is the law of seed. Then capital. Because I brought two concepts together, seed and capital. Now, capital refers to financial assets or the financial value of an asset. Two things. Financial asset, for instance, now, I'm not talking about money alone. Let me say, for instance, what I have in my hand now is a value. It's an asset to my business. Am I right? So it can be a capital that I can sow into my business. Okay? Now, what about time? Can I throw time and catch it like this?
No.
Can I touch time?
No.
Can I feel time? But I know that time exists. So time is also a capital that you can invest in business. Am I right? So I gave examples such as cash funds held in deposit accounts, as well as the tangible machineries and equipment used in environments such as factories and manufacturing. In other words, I'm talking about money that you have. So if you want to start a business, for instance, you may have savings. Now, at the point when you are ready to go into that business, that money you save in the bank becomes a capital with which you start your business. It is not only money that is capital. So we don't narrow down capital to money. Those facilities that you have, your time, your brain, your idea, all of them, they are all what? Capital. Because you put all these resources, without any one of them, the business cannot progress. For instance, you don't have discipline. And you say you want to go into business, I'm telling you, put 1 million in that business. In the next 6 months, you will not see anything. So discipline now becomes a capital that you can do what? Invest in your business. Capital is durable and used to generate wealth through investment. Through what?
Investments.
Capital is durable and then it's used to generate more wealth. And it's through what means? Through what means?
Investments.
Without investment, you cannot multiply the resources that you have in your hand. You have to plant it somewhere. Is that clear? Those of us that are in business will understand what I'm talking about. So, capital must be durable. It must last. It's not something that you start today. You think that maybe after 1 year, that capital is gone. If you touch that capital, you won't even see the next 10 years. It will end. You have to go and look for another one. So that capital should be, if you are using a machine, it should be a machine that will last you for some time. Is that clear? If you are using a landed property, for instance, now somebody wants to start a business, where you purchase a land is your own, and where you rent it, where do you think will favor you more? Where you purchase a land will suffer you in the short term because you must have spent a lot of money to acquire the land and went through processes. But the place where you rent it will displace you someday because one day you leave that place. Otherwise, everything you keep on working, you keep on working for another person. So that is the reason why I say that capitals capital includes machineries, automobile, patents, that is right. For instance, you write a book, you produce something, that is patent right, that is a capital, that is what we're doing. Like, you see this Microsoft operating system we are using today. Somebody produced it, and the amount you are getting it is not equivalent to what the real value of that operating system. But the person who gave you, for every time you use that product, that you are paying him something. And that thing you are paying him is not only you, because there are billions and billions of people all over the world who are using that one-time operating system. So each time they use it, they are paying him. So he can afford to go to sleep. And once you go to sleep, money is just rolling into it. So that is what we call patent. You invest once and you live forever. You can write a book, you can sing a song, you can act a drama. Whatever that can be used repeatedly is your patent. So it's an investment that you can put in. It's durable. And it will keep on using you. So I'm trying to explain what capital is. Now, capital can be rented out for a month, or annual fee, create wealth or so when it is no longer required. In order to qualify as capital, the good must provide an ongoing service to the business to create wealth. Capital must be combined with labor. In other words, money, machineries, and all of these things all put together cannot work until there is a labor. That is one factor. Human being must come to put all those things to work. Capital must be combined with labor. The work of individuals who exchange their time and skill for money. So we are talking about workers now. So if you start up any investment, you must have workers who will be able to replicate you. All of them put together are you, duplicated in thousands of persons. So you are paying for their time, for their time. They are selling their time for your money just to control your business. To create value by investing in capital and foregoing current consumption, a business or individual can direct those efforts into future prosperity. Take it again. To create value by investing in capital and foregoing current consumption. In other words, sacrifice is very, very important if you must make any investment and succeed. Current consumption, that is delayed advertisement. You understand? It's not if you want to start a business worth 1 million, you think that money is big, and then you start putting hand into it. Before you know it, the money 1 million will turn to 900,000. Before you know it, it turns to 800,000. Before you know it, it comes to 1 naira. And before you know it, the business. So you must discipline yourself and delay enjoyment of that business. Any man who is willing and ready to discipline himself, deny himself of immediate needs, something that you know is possible, you can delay them. You can decide to delay them like cars and all of those things. And then put your money into business. That is the only thing that can direct those efforts, those are investments into future prosperity. So now to bring these two concepts, seed capital, together, what do we mean by seed capital? If you combine all the characteristics of seed and capital that we have mentioned here, you will now get the true meaning of seed capital. Seed capital, as it relates to the reason why we are here today, which is for business, by seed capital we mean that little money or resources that you have in your hand, which is seemingly useless, okay, and unreckoned with in your hand, or does not amount to anything in your hand, or it may even be large money, but to which if you can decide to put it down into an investment, even though it is little as a mustard seed, it can grow into a giant tree, spanning huge estate and giving you great values in return. I got a particular quotation from the Bible to back up what I just said here from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, 11 to 12. God said, "Let the earth bring forth grasses, herbs, yielding seeds, and fruit after its kind, whose seed are in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grasses, herbs yielding seed after its kind, and all the trees yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. God saw that it was what? Good." In other words, it was God that created seed. And after creating seed, then God gave man a command in verse 28. He said, "And God blessed man, and he said to them, Go ye into the world, multiply and replenish the earth." Let me tell you what that command means. That command means that the person who created seed and needs their own effort to put together in order to make this seed to spread to all over the world, to continue to replenish itself until the end of the earth. And as long as you continue to do that, you will never ever starve in life. Amen. Amen. So seed capital is that money that you have set aside, that machinery you have set aside, that idea you have set aside, that vision that you have, that whatever input that discipline, that time you have set aside, you know, to make an investment, okay, it represents your immediate gratification for one for future prosperity. That is why most of the time if you want to go into any business or any investment, it is always good that you start with your own savings. If you go to borrow money from bank or from friends or whoever, and then with your amateur experience and anything happens to that money, that is the beginning of your problem. Is that clear? So you have entirely every right to use your seed money anywhere you choose. Is that clear? Hello?
Aye.
You have every right, but not responsibility, to treat the money, whatever is in your hand. Okay? There was a time that the Israelites were murmuring. They were murmuring when they were standing in front of the Red Sea. And then Moses turned to God and said, God, please do something. I didn't know why I'm murmuring. They are murmuring, please do something. And God said, shut up. Why are you talking to me? What is in your hand? What is in my hand? Not be brought. What is that? Set it over the reason and strike the
See,
And when he did that, what happened?
the sea divided.
If he had withdrawn it and kept it to himself, will the sea divide?
No.
Will the Israeli problem be solved? So God is encouraging us to do what? Put down whatever we have in our hands. And like my pastor says that all of us here have grace to make things happen. And when you have all the grace to make things happen and you fail to do it, you will be held accountable. You will give account for God because you are a grace waster. You are what? A grace waster. So you have been given the right, but not the responsibility because it's not by force. So you can choose. And because we recognize that you have this one other's right and honor from God, that is why we brought it together here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce to you the reason why we brought you to this place. We brought you here to show you a great opportunity, amazing opportunity where your money will be highly profitable and will change your financial life forever. Thank God the chairman has made it easier for me. He took time to explain to us so many things. And of course, those things that the chairman explained to us in this place are true. This place where we are is a fertile ground. I hope you heard when the chairman told you that out of the 100 million we are about to raise, that we can make 50 million. That is 50%. If you put down 1 million,